World Maritime Safety Code. Whether you are steering a small boat or you are commanding a cargo giant, discipline and respect for the rules save lives. Hello there, I'm super excited you could join us on another interesting episode of NIMASA this week, the captivating maritime TV show that explores the world of shipping, safety, and sustainability of the maritime industry. I remain your regular anchor on the program, Moyioluwa Olutayo. Sit tight as we set sail on today's voyage.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
The program is NIMASA this week. Once again, you're welcome. And if you're just joining us, please sit tight because it promises to be an exciting cruise. Today's episode is dedicated to the World Maritime Day Celebrations 2025. Let's kickstart the program as we delve into how Nigeria set the tone for the celebrations. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA kicked off the World Maritime Day celebrations in Nigeria with the maiden edition of the Nigerian Maritime Golf Challenge, which held on Thursday, September 18, 2025 at the prestigious Ikoyi Club Golf Sections, Lagos. Stay tuned on the program as we bring you various clips of all that happened at the event.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency recently hosted the maiden edition of the Nigerian Maritime Golf Challenge, an innovative mix of sectoral engagement and friendly sporting interaction, which kicked off commemorative activities for World Maritime Day 2025. The event, which took place at the Ikoyi Club Golf Section in Lagos, brought together a cross-section of stakeholders from across the maritime industry and beyond, under the theme, Our Ocean, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity. The ceremonial tee-off was performed by Dr. Odunayo Ani, the Director of Audit in NIMASA, before the tournament proper got underway. Other participants included Engineer Olalekan Badmus, the Executive Director, Marine and Operations, Nigerian Ports Authority, Mr. Isichei Osangbi, the Director, Administration and Human Resources, NIMASA, Olurotimi Babatunde Anifowoshe, Director, Strategic Planning and Research, Nigerian Shippers Council, Captain Sunday Umoren, Secretary General, Abuja MOU, and Temisan Omasheye, a former Director General of NIMASA. NIMASA's Director of Administration and Human Resources, Mr. Isichei Osangbi, described the event as a milestone that goes beyond sports, positioning it as a platform to foster partnerships and investments in the maritime industry.
What we've done today is support the President to create awareness of the huge potentials we have in the maritime industry. And your support cannot be measured. Your effort is not in vain. It's only an opportunity to let you know that there's a wide expanse for us to keep doing things. And we are using golf to create that consciousness.
The Onigemo 1 of Owa Igbaju, Oba Ademola Makinde, emerged the winner of the overall gross category with a total gross score of 81. David Adeniran won the maritime category, while Araoluwa Popola, Timmy Roland, Reginald Okehie, and B.A. Raji also clinched victories in their respective categories.
Welcome back. The program is still NIMASA this week. World Maritime Day is a significant event celebrated globally to recognize the importance of the maritime industry and shipping. By celebrating World Maritime Day, the global community comes together to address the challenges facing the maritime industry and work towards a more sustainable and safe future. World Maritime Day is celebrated on the 25th of September every year. And the theme for this year's celebration is Our Ocean, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity. Stay with us as we bring you the full report of what happened at the celebration.
With the theme Our Ocean, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity, reflecting the need for a shift towards the sustainable use of ocean resources, the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, in collaboration with its agencies, hosted a ceremony to commemorate the 2025 World Maritime Day. The welcome address was delivered by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Olufemi Oloruntola, who urged attendees to see the oceans as more than just bodies of water, but as the lifeblood of our planet.
This year's theme, Our Ocean, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity, challenges us to see the ocean as more than water stretching endlessly before us. It is the lifeblood of our planet, driving over 80% of world trade, providing food for billions, and regulating the climate that sustains life on Earth. Our obligation, therefore, is to defend the ocean against threats such as overexploitation, climate change. Our opportunities lie in building a blue economy that is strong, innovative, and capable of generating jobs to sustain present and future generations.
During his keynote address, His Excellency Adegoyega Oyetola, CON, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, called on maritime stakeholders to protect our collective ocean heritage, enforce sustainable practices, and embrace renewable ocean technologies.
The ocean, covering more than 70% of our planet, produces between 50 and 80% of the Earth's oxygen, provides food and livelihood for billions, and carries more than 80% of global trade. Yet it is under mounting threat from pollution, overfishing, climate change, and neglect. The message is clear: we must be stewards, not exploiters. This requires us to enforce sustainable fishing practices, tackle marine pollution, safeguard biodiversity, and strengthen maritime safety and security.
The minister also announced Nigeria's bid to return to Category C of the International Maritime Organizations Council, a move he said would reaffirm the country's leadership role in maritime affairs.
We've adopted policies that promote sustainable practices, invested in modern port facilities, and built strong regional framework for security and trade. Internationally, we have been active participants in global maritime dialogues, contributing to the formulation of policies that ensure responsible and equitable use of the oceans. It is in this spirit that Nigeria seeks a return to Category C of the IMO Council. Our country has long been a key player in the global maritime industry, and it is time to assume our rightful place in shaping decisions that guide it. With the strong and broad support already expressed by all member states across continents, we are very optimistic of success in the forthcoming elections in London. Our return to the IMO Council will affirm not only Nigeria's commitment to the maritime sector, but also our recognized leadership within the international maritime community.
Delivering the goodwill message, the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Muberiola, reaffirmed the agency's commitment to ensuring global best practices in the maritime sector and promoting sustainable progress.
The opportunities in the ocean are vast and must be harnessed sustainably. From fisheries, aquaculture, renewable energy, shipping, repairs, tourism, to port infrastructure, development, among other, including mining. However, sadly, the blue economy remains one of the most underfunded sectors globally. It has been acknowledged globally that public funding will never be enough to close the gaps. To scale up financing for ocean health and sustainable blue economy, the private sector must be involved. We need the right regulatory framework, innovative structures, and de-risking mechanisms.
The National Assembly, through its Senate Committee on Marine Transport, remains steadfast in providing the legal and oversight framework that will enable the sector to thrive. We shall continue to enact progressive legislation, conduct robust oversight, and provide the necessary parliamentary support to strengthen our institutions and ensures that Nigeria fully harnesses the opportunity of the maritime industry.
The maritime sector is a gold mine of opportunities. With deliberate policies, Nigeria can grow indigenous shipping, develop modern port infrastructure, expand shipbuilding and repairs, and unlock millions of jobs in the blue economy. By fostering partnerships between government, private sectors, and international stakeholders, we can transform our maritime domain into a cornerstone of national prosperity.
Our chief executives, the EDs, directors, captains of industry, stakeholders across the marine and the blue economy value chain, your presence here reinforces the shared responsibility of growing and sustaining this vital sector.
Nigeria's economy has long been dominated by the oil and gas industry. The output of this focused industrial activity has contributed significantly to the country's GDP and government revenue growth. However, due to the intervention of three factors, the volatility of oil prices, the depletion of oil reserves, and the growing concern about climate change, it has created an imperative for Nigeria to diversify its economy and transition to a more sustainable energy mix.
With over 90% of global trade, which accounts for half of the world's economic output, the maritime industry thereby constitutes an important economic driver that helps to spur development and reduce poverty. Therefore, every member of the maritime, and indeed the global community, is directly or indirectly the beneficiary of the ocean. So, we are all duty-bound to become more intentional and deliberate in our responsibility to protect the ocean and its resources.
The event also featured the presentation of awards to winners of the annual World Maritime Day essay competitions, individually organized by agencies under the ministry, paper presentations by industry experts, as well as a cultural troupe performance.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
Our ocean represents the biggest heritage that God bequeathed to man. Our ocean's contribution to environment, to climate is immense. Our ocean's contribution to livelihoods of our people around the world, our ocean's contribution to food security makes the ocean so important to humanity, and we must treat it with utmost care. We must be able to bequeath to the generations yet unborn an ocean that is perhaps cleaner than we inherited. This is our duty, this is our obligation, and it is something that also portends so much opportunities for us, not just as a people, but as a nation, Nigeria, that is blessed with so much frontage of the ocean.
Ocean actually covers 71% of the earth. And beyond that, according to the World Bank record, it provides food security for over almost half of the world population. So when you see enormity of such scale, is it not better for the human beings to start treating these resources with respect, and also to understand what are the opportunities that can be achieved from the ocean and how we can protect the ocean?
The theme speaks to the very core of what the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy is trying to achieve, which is highlighting the major contributions that our oceans can bring to the Nigerian economy in terms of opportunities and even just contributing to the GDP. Our oceans, our obligations, and the opportunities is saying that, look, we have an obligation, it's climate change, to use our maritime resources responsibly in a sustainable manner, and it's just highlighting that importance as we navigate the national policies that have been unveiled, as we take advantage of the economic opportunities that exist within the maritime domain, as well as positioning Nigeria as a core maritime hub in Africa.
Theme, our ocean, our obligation, our opportunity signifies our responsibility to protect the ocean by taking steps that is friendly and safe for the marine environment. One of the initiatives that the maritime industry is pursuing is decarbonization. And in today's World Maritime Day celebration, we hope that it will reignite our desire to come up with a strategic plan that will enable Nigeria transit to renewable energy in a realistic manner.
So our ocean simply means we know we own the ocean, and our obligation simply means what is our own responsibility? Like me, I'm a seafarer. So what is my own responsibility? Knowing quite well that this ocean belongs to us. To ensure that this ocean keep on steadily supplying us what he has for us. That is our obligation. And the opportunities is what is another thing. If we keep these things well, the opportunities are there. Like me as a seafarer, one of my obligations is to make sure that I fight against sea pollution.
It's a very apt one, especially when you connect it to the panel discussion, the theme of the day on energy transition. In case of Nigeria, just like I said, we have crude oil that is the mainstay of our GDP actually. So we are transiting, but it won't be sudden. We have to do a just transition where we first of all use the crude oil properly by applying all the instruments meant to manage it. Like as I said, when I made a contribution there, deploying carbon capture and storage, carbon capture and utilization, and signing into geoengineering as an instrument of that. And with carbon capture and storage and carbon capture and utilization, we can now convert our emissions into cash.
To me, I mean, that nails it. It's about coming to that realization that the ocean is ours, so we have to take ownership of the ocean. And when you take ownership, you have to, because at the end of the day, the ocean is about 71% of the earth, which is about 2/3 of the earth. And if you look at that mathematics, it means 2/3 of the revenues we have or we are generating should actually come from the ocean. So that's a big cash cow. So for us to have a cash cow, what do you do with a cash cow? You have to nurture, you have to give it your best. And that comes with a lot of responsibility. So we have to take responsibility of our ocean and then make use of all the opportunities. The opportunities are clearly highlighted in the maritime clusters.
Okay, we have a very long coastline that could serve as a hub, especially a maritime logistics hub in the region with the advent of the regional or continental economic bloc, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Nigerian coastline can be a transit point for most cargo that are going inwards, especially on the hinterland, far, far away to the landlocked nations.
From the Worcester angle, Worcester believe that the ocean is too important to be ignored. We cannot afford to let the ocean go dirty. We are obligated to keep it clean. And there's a lot to be gained from the ocean. That is where the opportunity comes in. And that is why in Nigeria, for example, the Federal Minister of Marine and Blue Economy have been talking about the gold that is in the ocean, the deposits that are in the ocean, what the economy can get from the ocean.
And with the theme that has been brought up this year, it is a collective responsibility for all stakeholders using the ocean to make sure that the ocean is safe, the ocean is clean, and we take good care of the ocean. So I am happy with the team, and I think it's time for us all to see more how we can also play our part in ensuring that the ocean is safe.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are NIMASA. New face, rejuvenated service. NIMASA, changing the tides in your favor.
Wow, what a beautiful celebration it was. We'll finally come to the end of today's episode of NIMASA This Week. This is the last episode in the month of September, which marks the end of the third quarter of the year. I remain your anchor, Moyoluwa Olutayo. What a beautiful and exciting voyage it's been so far. Let's continue to reflect and work towards achieving our goals. And until we come your way again next week, make determination and resilience your anchor. Fair winds and following seas.